Hello everyone and welcome back to more Fruit of Grisaia. In the last episode, we kind of had to butter Chizuru up a little bit so she would let us access to the document, which basically told us about the Irisu family history. We need to know more about Makina. That's very important. We need to know where she came from and what she's doing here. That's all we need to know, but it doesn't look like there's much information here, but let's see if we can get something out of it, shall we? Just as Zero warned me, the documents inside the envelope can't be called detailed by any stretch of the imagination. The reports mainly focus on the history of the Zero family, tracing their consistently flourishing enterprises from the pre-war era to today, describing their clan structure, and naming the houses considered their closest allies. In particular, the careful analysis of the current major players, thought processes, and religious ideologies, with an eye towards the risk they might pose to society, stands out as just the sort of meticulous work I'd expect from JB. Since the woman hates relying on personal impressions or speculations in her reports, it feels as though less reliable rumors have been intentionally omitted. While the information that's here appears to be solid, I can't deny that there isn't very much of it. The direct relevant material begins with the biography of Makina's grandfather, a former bureaucrat in the Ministry of Finance. Apparently he was something of a social climber, joining the family by marrying the daughter of a superior. Makina's own father likewise married into the family and took their name, but the real power in the Rasira clan was in the hands of his wife and mother-in-law. And those women, essentially the shadow leaders of the Rasira enterprises, made use of their enormous influence to enrich their family through arrangements tinted an extremely dark shade of gray. When Makina's father realized that he'd been unwitting to participate in large-scale corruption, he took the Asiru's secret account book and tried to come into contact with Naicho, but Naicho is Japan's Central Intelligence Agency, officially the Cabinet Research Office. So, like, the CIA. I see. Finishing the sentence as my voice trails off, Chizuru reaches out to offer me a steaming mug of coffee.
その事件というのがイリス・マサタカ氏の娘イリス・マキナの誘拐事件というわけ。
I see. Accepting the mug from Chizuru, I continue flipping through the documents. A group of criminals who kidnapped Makina off the street on her way back from a language class submitted a ransom demand directly to her father. Just as they instructed, Mr. Masataka, that's right, headed to the designated spot alone with the money, but was shot to death as he made the handoff.
使用された弾丸は未登録の9ミリ拳銃から発射されたもので、事件発生から8年経った今でも犯人につながる有効な手がかりは得られていない。
Oh, that's tragic. Trying to save your daughter and you gotta get killed yourself. Huh. What a world, right? Following the murder, Sir Makina was eventually rescued from the scene after spending 6 days.
そういうこと。犯人グループに拘束されたまま放置されたイリスさんは、6日もの間父親の亡骸と同じ部屋に監禁された結果。
Oh no. What? That's awful.
救出された時には体力的に限界を迎えていたのはもちろんのこと。精神的にもしっかり主張していたそうよ。
have a severe emotional trauma. So that's why she was hospitalized.
今のイリスさんに見られる言動の異常は、その事件が原因だったと言われているわ。入院。それが事件後は言葉も話せないような状態が2年も続いたそうで、イエスかノーか答えられるようになるのにさらに1年。自分の考えを言葉にできるようになるまで2年。人間らしい感情が戻るのに1年。今のように話せるようになったのも、ここ数年のことのようね。
God damn it, I've been making fun of her this whole time and now I feel like an ass. Damn Makina. I see. Shutting the manila folder, I slip it back into the envelope and return it to Chizuru.
もういいの?
I've seen all you. I can take. I've got the general idea. No need to keep going.
もう見たくない?
What's that supposed to mean?
イリスさんの過去はあなたの過去にも通じる部分があるでしょ。だから辛い過去を思い出すんじゃないかって。
Stop right there. You would be
ごめんなさい。
very... You just better be sorry. You do not bring up my past, do you understand? Is that the reason why you were so reluctant to show me this?
そうね。できればそういう過去はあまり思い出してほしくはないわね。
Denying the past doesn't change who you are today, and thanks to my master, I'm still standing.
ごめんね。変なこと聞くけど、生きていてよかったってそう思えることがあなたにはあるかしら。
That's a question for the ages, isn't it? Well, I mean, I've got myself through plenty of situations where death might have been the easier choice. Guess I've been trained well enough to treasure survival for its own sake. Also, I still haven't found the reason I was born, and I haven't even begun to repay the kindness of the woman who saved my life. So in that sense, too, I'm glad I haven't ended up dead yet.
そう。
Sorry for asking the unreasonable. I drained the coffee Chizio brewed for me to the dregs in a single gulp, then placed the empty cup on her desk. Kind of a shame, though. You went out of your way to show me the dossier, but there was only one piece of information in the whole thing beyond what I'd already expected.
その情報って？
I'm a little surprised that Makina has a little sister. I was positive that girl was an only child.
妹さんといっても父親が違うらしいし、姉妹的な感覚はあまりないのかもしれないわね。
Well, before that, the idea of Makina as a big sister just seemed wrong somehow.
確かに。
After thanking the principal for the information and her coffee, I promptly leave the office. As I stroll slowly down the hallway towards our classroom, I reconsider the intelligence once more. In the end, the information directly concerning Makina herself accounted for maybe a 15th of the total at best. In childhood, she was apparently so talented as to earn the label of prodigy. Hard to believe when looking at the airheaded doofus we know today, but when you give the matter careful thought, some faint remnants of that brilliance have been in evidence every once in a while. From a very young age, Makina was raised reverently as a child genius, but most of her family was only really interested in converting that talent into hard cash. Same story everywhere you look, I guess. In a house filled with people who viewed her as nothing more than a tool, Makina's one and only true ally was her father. Irusu Masataka was an up-and-coming future elite who had earned superb grades at a top-flight national university, but unfortunately happened to suffer from a distinctly timid and unambitious personality. And ever since meeting Makina's mother in her school days, she'd apparently exercised an absolutely dominating influence over him. Given how faint of heart the man was by nature, it's easy to imagine how anguished and torn he must have been when he discovered his family's deep involvement in large-scale corruption. In the end, he must have decided to live honestly for Makina's sake, even if it meant betraying the rest of his new family. But that was a mistake. Far too many important people would have found themselves in a seriously disadvantageous position if the Osiru clan's records were to be made public. Most likely, the for-profit kidnapping was a ruse devised by his own family, using his daughter as bait, only to kill him in front of her eyes. The coolest bystander in all of this, Makina was left tied up in her prison for 6 days with her father's rotting corpse. Hardly surprising that her mind would be deeply damaged. I can't speculate on why they chose to sacrifice the main family's eldest daughter, but after the incident, Makina was removed from her natural position as future leader of the clan. On paper, she's undergoing continuing medical care for an undisclosed illness, but in reality, she's been effectively disowned. Her younger sister's been given her place as the family heiress. Her beloved father, the only ally she had in this whole world, died right before her eyes. And then she was thrown out of her house as an unwanted child. Oh man. Pretty shitty luck all around. That said, I'm not about to let myself pity the girl. To be perfectly honest, this all sounds like a massive pain in the ass. On a purely practical level, it'd probably be wisest not to get too deeply involved. But running away at this point would be far too irresponsible. Misfortune isn't so unusual. I had my share. The world's got quite a few people who didn't grow up under pleasant circumstances in it. But I was lucky enough to meet my master, a person who decisively changed my life for the better. Her help became a huge turning point for me. If someone were to ask me now how I feel about my life, I can probably answer, I'm happy enough, in all sincerity. Staying alive is a good thing in itself. As long as you keep going, someday you'll find happiness. Someday you'll become useful to someone. The day will come when you earn someone's gratitude. That's why I'm still going. It was my master that gave me the strength of will to believe those things. I close my eyes, inhale deeply, and ask myself the crucial question once more. Can I really do for Makina like my master did for me? I looked at those documents in an attempt to understand the thing I wanted to protect, but I was also slightly uneasy that knowing the truth might complicate or weaken my determination. Unfounded worries, I'm not going to give it an inch. Not 1 inch. Maybe the real reason I looked over that dossier was to confirm my confidence in myself. There's no problem, because Yuji can't do everything well, but there's nothing he can't do at all. And if I'm not good at something, I can just take the time to improve. I'm not half bad at that sort of sober effort. Finally reaching this conclusion, I realized that I've been standing still in the hallway for some time, lost in thought. I glanced at the watch on my wrist. The time is 16:57. It's like 4:57. When 5 in the afternoon approaches, I still can't help thinking, which direction was the fog again? Old habits really do die hard. I casually look out the window with a wry smile on my face, only to find my classmates approaching the school gate with hoes and small shovels in their hands. Ah, right, it was gardening class. By nurturing something, you gain confidence in yourself. Taking on a moderate responsibility that leads to visible fruits of your labor helps encourage independence. On top of which, you're making a useful contribution to society. And that's the general idea behind the horticulture lessons at Bahama Academy. Of course, we're raising broadly competent individuals with exposure to everything from information technology to agriculture is also a nice line for the brochures. But if you look at it a little differently, the school is sort of like a BBQ joint that offers sushi and ramen. It feels vaguely shady somehow. And they've already finished up their lesson at the farm we borrowed for the purpose, and all that's left now is putting away the tools. A little strange for me to join in this late in the game, but still I make my way towards the front entrance. Hey Makina, just you?
Oh, Papa, どこ行ってたのよさ?
I had a minor errand to take care of. I went to see Chizuru.
そうかよ。まあ、あれな。たまにはいろんなもん突っ込んでやんないと、地図の下水管も詰まっちまうしな。ご苦労さんなのよさ。
Okay. You're as foul-mouthed as a Marine, I swear. Amane would be pleased to hear you talking like that, you know. Where is she anyway?
あまねえならあそこ。
Makina points behind her, indicating a red tractor that's making its way towards the storage building on the edge of the school grounds. The white towel rolled around her neck and a big straw hat on her head, Amane laughs merrily in the driver's seat and smoothly shifts gears from tortoise to hare. That sort of thing really suits her, doesn't it?
アマネーはタイヤとエンジンがついてる乗り物なら何でも大好きだしね。
So what happened to the others?
ユミちゃんは作業日報を書いて先生に提出に行ってる。チルチルは授業が終わってあとは帰るだけって段階で用水路に落っこちたからシャワーを浴びに行ってるのよ。
What's with that girl's pathological bad luck? Must have been a real monster in her past life. Whatever. Where's Sachi?
サッチンはあそこ。
Sachi, her back turned to us, seemed to be vigorously washing her hands in a nearby water fountain. In maid uniform, as always. I hope you guys are enjoying this. This is as close as you're going to get to an 18 in this game.
なんかすっげー必死に手洗ってんだけど、やつはああいう病気なの？
落ちない。落ちない。
The girl obstinately continued scrubbing away at her hands, quietly mumbling lines that wouldn't be out of place in some low-budget horror movie. Can't deny its vaguely blood-curdling little scene. And for some reason, just listening to her voice makes it sound weirdly sexual in a way. Maybe I'm just a little too sensitive.
そうでもねえんじゃね？私にもなんだかレイプされた女が公園の水飲み場で泣きながらマッコ洗ってるみたいに聞こえるのよさ。
Did you actually have to come out and say that? I went out of my way to be nice and vague, you know.
そうかい？そいつはごめんよ。
何やら私に関しての不穏当なささやきが聞こえてきたのですが。
It was nothing. Well, we were just wondering why you were washing your hands so frantically, I guess.
ああ、手についてしまった木作液の匂いがなかなか落ちなかったんですよ。
I see. Sachi holds out her hands to demonstrate. There's still a faint scent reminiscent of a burned lumber lingering on her skin.
サッチンは手を洗ってるだけなのに無駄に陰猥なエロメイドなのよさ。
Sachi, my friend, feel free to flip out.
風見さんは普通のメイドとエロメイドなら後者の方がお好きですよね。
Well, it depends. Does the slutty maid still do the work, I ask? Because I would rather have that. It's like a bonus. A slutty maid would definitely be nicer to have around the place.
じゃあいいです。もうエロメイドで。
Seriously?
じゃあ私はエロ娘で。
The fuck you are. No. Shaking my head as Makina cackles innocently, I happen to glance down and notice that she's got a single plant in a plain clay pot sitting at her feet. Oh, what's that?
リンゴ。
ゴリラ。
Trumpet! Wait, were we playing the word chain game? I think not.
今日ね、先生にリンゴの苗をもらったのよ。
An apple seedling, huh? Isn't raising an apple tree actually kind of difficult?
確かに簡単ではないようですけれど、マキちゃんが植えたものは単木で受粉が可能な品種だそうで、比較的手がかからないそうですよ。
今はちびっこい苗木でも、数年後には真っ赤な小玉リンゴが鈴なりなのよさ。そのまま食ってよし、ジャムにしてよし、パイのフィリングにしてよし。想像すると笑いが止まらないのよさ。
I see. That's something to look forward to. Before I know it, I'm reaching out a hand for Makina's head, pushing my fingers through her fuzzy mass of hair. I roughly scratch at the scalp underneath. The girl's half closed her eyes and make a strange little purring grunt sound. What was the class fun?
おーよ、ドロンコプレイは大好きなのよ。
Mud wrestling.
つまり土いじりのことです。マキちゃんは都会っ子の割には平気で田んぼにも入りますし、放っておけばキャーキャー言いながらずっと一人で遊んでるんですよ。
パーパー、ドロンコ気持ちいいよ。べちょべちょのドロンコ、もっとぐちょぐちょにかき
Okay, I get it. You love mud, alright, but that's just now was really cutting it close in a lot of ways. No, maybe over the limb entirely. Cut it out with the ooh. You sound like a constipated yak.
ちなみにですが、私も園芸の授業は大好きですし、今日もとて
Oh,
も
I'm
楽しかっ
sorry,
たです。
Sachi. This isn't your route, so we don't care. That's good. Something wrong? What is wrong with something wrong with Sachi? Well, we're gonna find out in the next episode of the Freedom Grisaia. I like it. The story's getting good. You know, we're starting to get some more backstory, some more history, and it's, you know, the plot is getting thick, as they say. So, let's continue on. I'll see you next time.